Kendra Harvey's What Lies Beneath, read by Aubrey Kendall, prologue. No matter if you're a man or woman, we've all been there. You know those feelings of sadness, anger, and devastation. The growing pit in the bottom of your stomach as a heavy weight on your shoulders or chest presses down. When the truth finally comes out and you finally figured out you've been lied to by someone that you care about or even love, a million different emotions run over you like a waterfall. You might be the type of person who's able to deal with the situation rationally, but most of us aren't as fortunate. Typically, questions such as who, what, why, and when begin to float around in your head and push at your brain like a punching bag, making the situation that much worse. So many answers shoot out, but who really knows what the answer is except for the person who did the lying? It's tough being in a friendship or a relationship with a person who's lied. Your heart doesn't want to give up on that said person. So it's not that you don't care about them any longer, but the trust that once held the friendship together has been ripped away. Reconnecting with the person who lied is often difficult to do. Without trust, there is no point in having the friendship or relationship any longer. People lie for different reasons. One explanation for the deceit could be due to fear or even shame. The person might not feel accepted or whatever reason, so lying is their only option. The person might feel that the lies make them feel better about who they are and help them fit into a group or relationship even better. These particular liars can learn from their mistakes and are more willing to confess to what they've done. However, connecting on a genuine level becomes more difficult with that type of liar. The second type of liar can be more frustrating. Entertainments of selfish gains are the key opportunity for this deceiver. This includes if they are willing to tell the truth, yet they will do the opposite and tell a lie that could fracture a great relationship out of fun. Manipulator is the first word that comes to mind. Next is calculative. These types of liars know what they are doing. They don't care about how people feel, how they're affected them. In their eyes, they think they're right no matter the situation and end up destroying the relationship in the end. To me, these relationships are cumbersome. Life isn't worth living if you're around these type of people. Removing these forms of liars is a must because they just don't care. I've dealt with my share of fibbers in my life and find those who are truth tellers are not as easy to come by. Everyone needs love, but do they need the drama that comes with it? I mean, when you think about it, how can someone lie? Do they not understand the repercussions? I remember reading a quote by Mark Twain that said, "If you tell the truth, you don't ever have to remember anything." I didn't realize at the time how powerful that statement would be in my life. I've always lived a very truthful existence myself, but the men around me, not so much. Before I met my circle of friends, I met this guy named Paul. I thought that man was it. He was the one. He was smart, well-mannered, and he was on the road to becoming a very reputable man. From that point on, he changed my life forever. The sad part is, I didn't even realize how much it had changed until the relationship ended rather suddenly. Was it something I did? Was it something I'd ever be able to get past? Luckily, he didn't pull me down his path throughout all my college years and adulthood, but he did take up my high school years and a year into college. Looking back, it makes sense, because somewhere in my heart, love had taken over and I'd become blind to anything else. I guess my parents could have been to blame, but I think I was a lost girl looking for a Prince Charming that I thought I'd found. After Paul, I took a year off from men. I wanted time for me and to relax. I didn't have any friends. My friends were Paul's friends, and when we split, that was it. I didn't care what anyone else said. You will always find out who your true friends are when something major happens. I thought I had some great friends. Finally, during one odd day in my chemistry class, I ran into this girl named Paige Turner. Well, I guess run into is wrong because we made something majorly explode on a complete accident. Somehow we grabbed the wrong chemical, and that's all that needs to be said. Paige was my first friend back into school. Sitting in my room was no longer necessary because I actually had a friend. My world would get so much better from there. Just how much better? Well, I found love again, but this time it was completely different. Something I'll continue to cherish for the rest of my life. The door to the room I currently sit in slowly squeaks open. Kendra? Brooklyn's face was washed out, and her eyes were slightly pink. Can you do this? Confidently, I stood up and nodded my head. Of course. I love him. She turned from me and left the door slightly ajar. Looking down at the princess-cut diamond ring on my left hand's ring finger, I smiled to myself. In order for you to understand what I want to say, I must start from the beginning. Welcome to my story of torture, hope, new love, and a different type of happily ever after.